Radhe Radhe. This compassion story is about moving to India. Yep, that's right. If you haven't heard yet, we are uprooting from our home here in Idaho and moving to the other side of the world to Vrindavan, India. Now, we first went to India in 2020, and at that time we got stuck there and our life changed forever. So really, this is a story about change. How do we deal with it? What happens to us when we're going through it? And how do we actually make it happen when we really truly want it? Now, for us, this move hasn't been easy. It's probably been anything but that. But deep down inside, we have exactly what it needs to make change happen. We have the desire for what is on the other side of that change. The problem that catches most of us is that before we get to the other side of that change, we have to deal with the change itself. One of the members of our spiritual community, he said, "You have to die to live." And this didn't really make sense until this summer when we were navigating this move. What I learned was that we do have to die. Not physically, but mentally. Our thoughts, our expectations, our judgments, our assumptions, some of even our beliefs have to die so that change, whatever is coming, can come to birth and can live. Now, what I've experienced this summer in this process of going through this huge life change is that there's been quite a bit of grieving. And I use the word grieving because grieving is this process of navigating feelings. It's this journey of riding waves of emotion. And when you go through change, you actually go through this journey of grieving how you currently are and how you used to be, which means letting go of and really internally feeling all of the emotions that are associated with the way you currently see the world, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about what is right and what you need to do. Because in order to allow whatever new is coming your way, you first have to make a little space and let go of what already is. So the first thing about my story has been really grieving my old self. And the reason that we're willing to do this, we being my husband and I, is because of what we've experienced in India. Now, prior to the pandemic, prior to getting stuck in India, I, like probably a lot of you, dealt with some negative self-talk. Didn't happen all the time, but man, when it did, it was loud and sticky. And these negative thoughts, usually that were directed towards myself, were painful. They actually made me suffer. But the weird thing was about it is that I actually kind of wanted them to happen. You're like, what? But honestly, there was a part of me that was believing or thinking that I deserved to be punished. I was disappointed. I thought I could have done better. And I suffered from this for most of my life and was constantly kind of let down when when these thoughts would appear. Now, when we went to India, I learned that instead of deserving punishment when I made a mistake or I didn't show up the way I wanted to, I actually really just needed love. This changed my whole worldview. This allowed for freedom, because this way I used to see the world or think about the world or think about myself now had been shifted into something else. And what it was shifted with was the highest, in my belief, most magical, transcendental power there is, and that's the power of love. And so what we experience in India is really incredible miracle healing with love. And that's frankly why we're moving there. We want to not only taste this when we go on retreat or when we sit in meditation, but we want to live in it all of the time. We want to see what else will shift inside of our mental and cognitive state, our emotional state, when we experience living surrounded by more people who are only embodying and giving love. If you want some sort of change in your life, what you need is to find out your true desire. And this is actually something that usually comes from within you. And it's something that's kind of deep inside of you, and that is the ticket. You want it really deep because you want it to be an anchor that you can hold on to when you're navigating this journey of change. You can hold on to it and stabilize yourself as you're grieving and feeling and maybe doubting and experiencing all of these different waves that come up when you are going through profound change. There's a little equation here. If you want the change to happen, you need your desire for that change to be bigger, to be greater than the process of change itself. And I tell you, deeper than is actually a really nice way to think of it, because deeper than allows all of these other things, all of these issues to be more superficial. The fears, they can go because you're holding on to this very stable connection to what you really want. The second thing that you need to allow change to happen in your life is compassion. You need compassion for yourself as you're dealing with this journey of change. And compassion is something that can be learned by all of us. And compassion is one of the reasons why we're inspired to share these stories. Because through compassion, change becomes possible for all of us. Compassion is elixir. Is like an elixir that you can drink, that keeps your heart open and allows you to be your most authentic self and live a life full of meaningful connections. Thank you for taking the time to connect with our story today, taking the time to watch this video. I would love to hear from you, and so leave a comment down below, and then make sure that before you click away, you click the subscribe button so you get notified and can continue to watch more stories just like this one. Jai Shri Radhe. Namaste.